Hey guys, welcome to another video on Brand Device where we talk about business and finance. In this video, we're going to talk about Bitcoin again and not about my haircut because boy, we screwed it up. Of course, lockdown is going on and my wife Alina offered to cut my hair. And I was like, all right, let's try it out. But it did not turn out quite as I thought it would. But hey, it's just hair. It is going to grow back, so not a big problem. So let's not have any comments about that in the comment section below. Now, the main reason I really took a leap this year, at least in Bitcoin, last year I started investing in stocks. I built up the confidence, and this year I finally had the courage to also start investing in cryptocurrency. Now, the reason behind it is, again, if you are living in a particular kind of country, you have to see what kind of tax structures it has, because taxes determine how much wealth you can build for yourself. Now, let's take a few examples in the case of Germany. Let's say you're earning 100,000 euros per year. You have different kind of levels through which that is going to be taxed, but the highest tax rate is going to lead for you at somewhere around 42%. Second, let's say you made 100,000 euros in capital gains. Maybe you bought a stock very cheap, you bought a lot of it, and then afterwards it completely blasted. Let's say the plug power right now on my scalable capital portfolio, which is, I think in this year it's up like 1000% or something, which is insane. So something like that. Now, if you sell that on the profit in Germany, you're still going to pay around 26% tax on that, which is again not less. You have to really think of it in the absolute terms. Lesser than the income tax that you're paying, but not zero, right? That is important. Now, let's talk about cryptocurrency. The thing is, in the starting, I was also very skeptical. I was like, what if one day everybody decides that Bitcoin is not worth anything anymore? What is going to happen then? Now, of course, these kind of fears and speculations were always in my mind. But now recently, if you see, PayPal has been buying 70% of all newly mined Bitcoin. It is insane the kind of buying frenzy they're on. Then if you take a look at Square, they're also buying substantial amounts of Bitcoin from the market right away. That means these companies are really taking it mainstream, and they will be offering soon services to people to exchange services and goods via Bitcoin. And if you have bought any kind of Bitcoin, even if let's say 25 euros or something, you would see that it is actually a very interesting system, because you just need an address for you to be able to transfer real, let's say, money in the sense of Bitcoin from one account to the other account without any kind of inclusion of any banks whatsoever. And this is a huge thing, because I tell you, I've been doing business since October 2017. And of course, some months have been absolutely great, other months have been really bad. And of course, in this global world, many times you want to take services of somebody who is not in the same country or who is not in the same, let's say, currency zone or something. For example, previously I hired somebody for my website stuff from India, and it was very painful to pay that person in the end, because the traditional German banking system is bad, to say the least, because anytime you have to do any kind of bank transfer in foreign currencies, they of course charge you a lot of money. TransferWise of course is a good option, but think of it you do not have any kind of middleman whatsoever. So of course, in those kind of scenarios, it becomes very lucrative. Now, Bitcoin, I don't think it is going to be used as money. I think maybe it is going to be used more as an asset which is going to store value for you, which is going to increase value, which could be something like the US dollar, on which the other currencies are basing itself at. Ethereum, on the other hand, I think could be used as currency, because there's no limited quantity of that. And now if you see how many companies are trying to actually use it and are trying to include it in their different kind of models, then you definitely see that Bitcoin is not going anywhere, because it already now has a history of more than 10 years, which is good for any kind of asset class. In Germany, if you hold Bitcoin for more than 365 days, you sell it on the 366th day. Now, according to taxfix.de, which is the tax filing website, it is also very interesting for expats and stuff. You can see that you do not have to pay any kind of tax whatsoever. You also do not even need to declare it in your tax filings, which I also found very interesting. And here it does not matter if you made 1000% plus gains, like for example this Plug Power stock made, because on Plug Power stock you would have paid around 26% in taxes. But if you take a look at Bitcoin, or if you take a look at any other cryptocurrency, you're still paying 0% tax, which is crazy. And especially when you're living in a country like Germany, where you have very less opportunities of having anything tax-free and getting profits out of it tax-free, then I think this is a nice investment you can do. And this is also the reason I recently purchased 5,000 euros worth of Bitcoin, and also recently I bought around 1,000 euros in Ethereum. I'll be buying more of that in the upcoming days, and I'm also going to quickly show you a tutorial on how you can buy Ethereum on Binance and stuff like that. If you haven't yet opened your account on Binance, you can do it with the link given in description. Or if you're more interested in Coinbase, which is more user friendly, but they charge you higher fees, so then you can also use Coinbase. That is also a decent platform. I personally went with Binance because again the fees is low there, and you can see how I purchased Bitcoin on Binance in my previous video. Really think about this. This is not a bad option. Of course, some people think of it as speculative, and I completely understand that, but I still believe, let's say, having 20 euros, 25 euros, 50 euros whatsoever invested in Bitcoin, it is really not a bad idea, because even if it goes up or down, 50 euros or something is still the money that you would have spent anyways, going out 2 times or something. And what if it appreciates in value? If it appreciates in value and you hold it for 1 year, then you can have a very solid return on your money, because right now the current estimates for Bitcoin are going anywhere from 140,000 US dollars till 500,000 US dollars, and right now it is just for I think 40,000 US dollars, and in euros, if you convert it, it is around 30,000 euros. So even if you get a small percentage and it really becomes 10x, then this is still whatever 50 euros you have, at least you have 500 euros without any kind of big hassle. And then in the end, you pay 0% tax on it, which is very, very nice. And this is also without any kind of bureaucratic hassle, because a lot of people talk about having real estate and stuff. I tell you from experience, having real estate, sounds great in theory and everything. And of course, we have a lot of tax benefits, because you can do depreciation of the cost of the building and everything, so that on books, you're showing a loss every single year, even if you're making income. It's all nice, but you have to remember, as soon as you have a house, there will always be things which go wrong. Now, I personally am not a huge fan of real estate. My wife, on the other hand, Alina, she's a huge fan of real estate. She would buy houses everywhere if she could. I would rather have my stocks so that I'm more mobile. I can just go around wherever I want, and I can choose how much income or how much cash flow I would like to have from the stocks. Whereas with houses, you cannot really decide that. If something goes off, a part of your roof blows up and something, you're done. Your house value pretty much is very low at that point, and you cannot have any kind of cash flow from that. But if a stock performs like that, anyways, you do not have all of your money inside one single stock. So there will be, of course, some loss there, but you will be covered by the other stocks which are in your portfolio. So really think about it. Think about cryptocurrency in Germany as a way to build your wealth with 0% tax rate. And keep this in mind, so that when you actually decide of buying something, and the way things are going, it is going to go up in value. Not this year, maybe, not next year, maybe there's a crash whatsoever, but definitely in the next 10 years, you will have crazy amounts of returns here, because people are going away from gold and stuff, and they just want more freedom. They want less government control, because you see it already now with the lockdown, how much freedom the government can take away. And imagine from one day to the next, the government tells you your bank accounts are frozen. If you have cryptocurrency, you can still afford things, you can still pay for things, and the government has no control there. So think about it in these terms, and that's how maybe you will realize the importance of cryptocurrency, at least right now, and why it could be very lucrative, especially when you're living in a country like Germany or Denmark, where you have 0% tax rate on cryptocurrencies, at least for now. Maybe it changes in the future. For now, it is 0%, so make the most out of it. Sign up on Binance with the link given in description, or Coinbase, and I'm going to see you in another video. If you have any kind of questions whatsoever, let me know in the comment section below. On Instagram, I will be going live soon, so if you want to join us there, you can also follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you in the next video.